Welcome to the flea pit, everybody. Welcome to the show. If you've been here before, you know how this goes. We work on our crafts here and watch a movie. I'll give you my review as I do my thing. Come watch and come see what this old shrew can do. If you're real lucky, you'll find some inspiration here too.
Alrighty, guys, we're just going to jump on in this week without much of an intro. All of this is 1 yard of a red fleece fabric. I got it at a going out of business sale. And here, bam, is a pattern. Let me try and stretch that out for you. It's not for me, it is for my dog. It's going to be cold this winter, and I want him to be warm and styling. Ooh, let me do that a little better. Bam. So here we have the doggy onesie. I did cut it out. We have a decent amount of extra. These little bits are from over here. I have this from a leftover project, so that's upcycled. I cut out these pieces, 1, 2, 3, plus a little bit extra. And I cut out those. I did double it up on everything so that I can sew them and then I can flip them inside out so that way there's not going to be any fraying on the edges. For the spines, I have that, which is a stiffener. It's going to go in all of the spines along there. So that way they stand straight up. We don't want anything to be wobbling as he's walking. That is what it should look like in theory, but the spines are going to stand up. They are aligned perfectly, so I did do that right. This is the right side of the fabric, and I'm just going to sew it with the other right side thrown on top. So that way I can flip it inside out and the spines are going to stand straight up. I don't have to worry about anything else for that. There we go. That worked out. And then I also did the spots. I left the back side alone for now. I did do the leg. I just have to do the inside. So there's no fraying there. And then I do have to work on the neck and the chest piece after that. And obviously the armhole. That should all be easy enough. I have those pattern pieces. Ta-da! The spots on the other side are connected now. I did do the neck and then I did do the sleeve and the inside is done as well. I do just need the cuff. I was at my mom's house when I was working on this last part and I just needed to add the cuffs when she saw me trying it on and she wanted one for her dog, or she requested one for her dog. But not in the same style. She wanted one that matches her dog. So here we have this sunflower fabric. Sunflowers are yellow. Her dog is a blondie, so it worked out. She picked this one from the store. I grabbed one of the dog sweaters because she's not my exact dog's size and she's much smaller. So I guess it was dumb getting a whole yard. That's a lot of extra fabric, but since I don't have a pattern, I guess there's room for mess ups. And if worst comes to worst, I guess a dog will get a matching blanket. So anyway, I grabbed the dog's sweater so that I can kind of try and piece together a pattern piece like here. Let me show you. There we go. So the neck and the armhole I was able to copy from the sweater. And then the legs here, this curve, I kind of put my dog's on top and then tried to freehand it on top of that, but it didn't work 100% because her dog is shorter and not quite. Her dog has slender thighs, but just at the top, not at the bottom, and she's shorter. So I cut the pattern out. There you go. And I still have to do the chest, but we'll worry about that later. And I think I'm gonna cuff what goes around the butt because it does feel long. I do have to cut the spine as well. I'm going to put a zipper. It's going to be different from my dog's in that way because she's an older dog, so I don't want to put her in the way I do with my dog. We're just going to plop her in with the zipper along the spine. And then for the legs, it was looking pretty long, but then after I added the cuff area, it did shrink up enough, and now I feel like that's good. It should be good enough. So I'm going to get to sewing and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm partially done so that way I can try it on her. And yeah, I'll do what I said. But I feel like we're going to have to do some editing because she's not 100% 1-for-1 ratio of my dog. But I've made enough onesies for my guy that I feel like with a snip here and a snip there, I'll be able to do what needs to be done. So let's get closer. Here we have both of the legs done. I added some elastic, nothing fancy. Let's move on. Here we have the arms. I cut out 2. I'm just going to attach them over here. Bang, boom. We'll cut them and do some adjusting after. And then we'll do the chest piece. Let me walk you over here and go over the edits. So my mom wanted it to be longer because she doesn't have a willy, so we don't have to worry about the peeing. And then she wanted the chest a little bit longer just because she wants her to have a little extra room to gain weight for winter. I was worried at first, but then once I figured for the curve of the arm, it should be perfect. It was looking a little square, but here, once I line it up, there we go, like that. It's really not that much room, just like a thumb's worth on each side. So I feel like that's going to work out nice and easy. And then here's going to be for the neck. It's going to be long so that it can be a turtleneck and it can be folded over. Again, nothing fancy. Here we have everything pretty much sewn together, just not the neck and the zipper. So I did zigzag stitch for the zipper area, and the legs are both enclosed, and for the tummy area there and for the neck I also zigzag stitched that close. It might be getting bias tape. That is definitely not getting bias tape. I do have to zigzag stitch this before I attach it to the neck. It's going to be the turtleneck area, and then this is for the bias tape. That's going to go 100% on the zipper. I'm just not sure if it's going to go for the tummy area and the tail area. Ignore that. So I just have to do that. Here are the scraps from that part. It's not too bad, but I didn't have to recut any pieces, so there is a good amount of extra fabric. So I'm pretty sure I am going to do a blanket. Nothing fancy. Just gonna cut off that, and then turn over the edges, sew them up, and she'll have a little something special to match. This little lady is a good 12 years old, I want to say at least. So she deserves a little something special. And, it's going to be cold this winter, so she should stay warm. So I'll be back. Here we go. Everything is all sewn together. I did add the zipper. It is a 20 to 22 inch invisible zipper. It's not what I wanted initially. I was looking for a jacket zipper, a yellow one, to go with it. I looked at Joann's. I looked at Hobby Lobby. I looked at Walmart. I tried yard sailing. Nothing. I couldn't find it. I wanted yellow to match the fabric right there, but I was going to settle for green or even that like pale off-white yellow. Nothing really worked out. Here we have that extra fabric. Like I said, I'm just going to chop that off and cut it into a blanket and give that to her afterwards. But we're pretty much done with this project, and I'll show you the results. Here we go. This is my little man, my Christmas dragon. Nothing fancy. And an appearance from the other dogs. There we go. And an appearance from one kitty. There we are. Here's a little special lady. And this means our project for the week is done. I hope you guys had a good Christmas. I'm sorry the video is so late, but you get to see this little beauty. We'll see you next time.